Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the open greatly, and we want to try something a little bit different today. We're going to be running this Clefable and Diggersby Waxer team right now, but then we're going to eventually switch out one Pokemon from this team, and we'll see which one kind of feels better. So here we have the Clefable versus this Ferrothorn. Not the best for backline here. We're just going to continue throwing these Meteor Mashes because they're at least doing some good damage, and we know that we're gonna have to probably seal this one right here to be able to get to another move. Our opponent ends up switching out eventually. Now this is where Quagsire comes into play. Shadow Quagsire here is going to be able to get to these Mud Bombs fairly quickly. As you can see right there, just super effective. Doesn't one-shot a KO, but it looks like we are going to be able to survive this Earthquake. We're going to be throwing this Mud Bomb here right before they get to their move. We can pressure a shield situation. They decided to let it go, and we're going to try to get to a Mud Bomb here. Okay, so this is very good because we're going to be able to get either shield or take out the Ferrothorn. Now we are even shield, and they're close to a move, so looks like we're going to come back in here with the Clefable, immediately throw the Meteor Mash. This Meteor Mash does get the shield, so they are no longer going to have any shields. They take out our Clefable, which is okay, and then here we're going to be hoping that one shield Diggersby here is going to be enough to win the backline. We're going to tank one Power Whip, and we do have a favorable matchup in the back here. This is going to be a Scorching Sand that does, roughly 50-40% right there. We don't get the debuff right there, so we're going to have to throw this next Scorching Sand on the next. Okay, well, a little bit off timing right there. We are going to get KO'd right there, so GG's to our opponent right there. It would have been close. We would have been able to probably get to another Scorching Sand if we had thrown that before they get to the move. All right, so this is what we're saying. We're going to be switching out one Pokemon to kind of see what Pokemon fits well with this team here. So we're going to switch out to the Nidoqueen. We have the Clefable, and they're going to switch into their Cresselia. So we're going to throw this Moonblast right here. This Moonblast is going to do a really good, decent amount of damage. And then we're going to allow them to throw a move. Let's see what they actually have in the back. So because they threw a Grass Knot right there, we anticipate that they probably have Grass Knot and Psychic. But that's just a hunch. So we're going to go into our Diggersby here, and we're going to soak up all this damage and potentially get some extra energy. So we are going to throw another Scorching Sand right here. The Scorching Sand will be able to get this Cresselia out of here. And now we have the Umbreon on the back here, so it was key for us to maintain alignment. As you can see here, this Umbreon doesn't have a great matchup against our Clefable. Let's see what they end up doing here. They're gonna have a ton of energy, so we let the first one go. They go for the Foul Play bait right there. We don't shield. We're gonna shield this next one. It ends up being the last resort. They're going to throw this Meteor Masher right before they get to their move. Let's see what they end up doing. They decided to let it go. And then now we are in prime position because now we have the Shadow Nidoqueen versus the Zazuro. The Zazuro does have two shields, but look how much fast move damage I just did right there. Basically doing roughly 20% just from fast moves. So we definitely shield, and then we're going to go for this Poison Fang here on Ideal Timing. We're going to throw another Poison Fang right here on Ideal Timing. As you can see, it's already in the red. We're going to double debuff them right here, and we do see a P-tie. They already double debuff, and we know that they have Ice Beam, but luckily for us, our Clefable is so close to a move, we're going to be able to take out this Azumarill with the Meteor Mash right there. So GG's to our opponent right there, able to win that game with the Shadow Nidoqueen. All right, time to switch out the next Pokemon. We're going to go into our ground selection. We're going to use the Clodsire here. So let's see how Clodsire works with this core. So the idea here is just to use different Pokemon for a little bit of more this Clefable and Diggersby core, and we'll see which one is the best, or which one you can use, or which one do you think is more favorable for just your playstyle. Okay, we're gonna have to little reset right there. This is a ABB team still, but we're just using different kinds. So here we're gonna have a favorable matchup here, expecting them to switch out. They switch into the Swampert. Okay, so Swampert is kind of a unfortunate switch in for us. We don't have a a great counter to it, so we're going to have to stay in. We're going for this Moonblast right here because it's going to do some good amount of damage if they don't shield. So right there, they decide to let it go. And now we have potential to farm down with the Diggersby here. We know that we can tank one of these Hydro Cannons pretty easily. And the idea here is to have some energy advantage versus this Dragonair probably going to be coming in. Okay, Dragonair does come in. We're going to be able to get to our move here. We're going to go for the Scorpion Sand bait. We do get a shield, which is perfect. Our opponent ends up switching out into the Talonflame, which we have to go for our Hyper Beam right here. Huge Hyper Beam goes to right there. We're going to have to consider going into the Clodsire right here, I believe. We definitely don't want to go into the Clefable because we need the Clefable for the Dragonair. So the Talonflame ends up going for a Flame Charge right there. Flame Charge does only neutral damage right there. The second Flame Charge goes through. We're going to try to farm down at this point because Clodsire kind of a sneaky tank. We're going to save all the energy. We're going to switch out into the Clefable. We're basically forcing their last shield here. And we're basically trying to get them to use some energy. They decide to use some Aquatow energy right there. And luckily for us, we already have a shield and we have Earthquake available. This is going to be GG's. And boom! Goes the Dragonair right there. So nice little win right there. And let's see what we use next. All right, now we are back. Let's see what we're going to switch into. So this time we're going to change it up and use the Whiscash. Whiscash, another ground type, but different kinds of movesets. So let's see if this is going to work out. We have the Clefable versus the Swampert. We know that this matchup here is probably our best case scenario, considering we have 2 grounds in the back. We're going to be able to tank the first Hydro Cannon here. We're going to go for this Moonblast. This Moonblast does get shielded, so they are definitely trying to win this lead. We do have enough health to be able to get to another Moonblast right here. We're going to see if they're going to double shield. No double shield right there, but they are able to survive that. We're going to allow her to go through because as long as this Swampert is able to be farmed down, we're okay with it. They do have a Trevenant in the bag. This Trevenant is going to be pretty annoying if we don't take it out. But we do have good news that we do get the debuff right there. So these Seed Bombs don't do quite as much damage. Their fast moves of Shadow Claw are already doing nothing, but now that they're debuffed, they're only going to do probably 1 damage. So because of that debuff, we should be able to get to another Scorching Sand here before they potentially KO us. So Scorching Sand goes through. They do end up shielding, which is very interesting. Our opponent here does throw the Seed Bomb before we go to the Scorching Sand. We're going to decide to let it go. And we're going to hope that what we have in the back is good enough to win. Our opponent here does have the Charger Bug in the bag. This Charger Bug is going to be able to throw an X-Scissor, neutral move right there. We are going to have to try to get a debuff or something at some point. We're going to go for the Skull. No debuff right there. Luckily, this Whiscash is tanky enough. We know that we can survive another one, so we're going to save the shield. And then we're going to go for another Scald right here. We're trying our best to manage our health. And we're going to be able to get to this Move Bomb right here to take out this Trevenant. So double grounds here in the back, able to beat the Trevenant is actually amazing. So GG's for our opponent right there. Able to somehow wiggle out of that situation when they actually had the probably the right team to take us out. Unfortunate for them, we are able to debuff them and basically outpace them. All right, so switching out again, we are going to be using another ground type here. This time we're going to use the Gligar. Let's see how this works out. So Clefable versus the Cofagringus. I mean, at this point, we don't know what's in the bag, so we're just going to be a little bit sneaky. We're going to switch out, try to catch a Shadow Ball. We do end up catching that Shadow Ball, so great switch right there. Our opponent ends up switching into a Slowbro. So Slowbro is going to have to tank a Hyper Beam. You know that the Slowbro has potential to learn Surf, so we're going to have to let the first one go. We are able to tank that. And we're going to go for the Scorching Sand right here to potentially get a shield. We do get a shield, which is fantastic. They are able to farm us down. And now we're looking for a farm down with the Clefable. Let's see. Okay, we do go for the Clefable, and we do see it being tied here. So we're going to be able to either take this out or get this last shield. So great management right here. Switching into the Glider when they have their Drapion, but then they immediately switch out into their Cofagringus. We do shield a correct Shadow Ball right there. So we are looking nice. One shield to one shield. We go for the huge dig damage right there. That dig damage is going to put it in range of a farm down. This is going to be interesting end game right here. We're going to look for the farm down right there. We do get the farm down, so that's really key. So we do have a ton of energy, and our opponent knows that, so we're going to go for this aerial ace. We do get the shield, which is great, and now we're going to be able to outpace them to this dig. This dig is going to be enough or no? Not enough, but we are going to be able to pressure them to use some energy. After this energy is used, ends up being the crunch right there, so we are going to be able to survive that. So GG's to our opponent right there. Check out these teams. Let us know which one do you think is the best.